That's the formula. Subscribe for a Lamborghini, and to make me happy, you could be in one of these videos right now, and you might get picked for the next video. Subscribe to the next one. Subscribe and you might win a free car. This video. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
So many people had jobs.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend. So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to Mr. Beast, and oftentimes friends and family of Mr. Beast employees, or just the employees themselves. And when they do pull someone from outside of North Carolina, it's usually somebody who's in the industry, who's camera trained, who has built a following.
I've got Chucky's tweet here. He said, "You won't get in a video unless your family or friends are with someone that works at Beast."
I don't know what he's quoting. He's putting things in quotation marks, but I never said that. And because so many of the female contestants were Mr. Beast employees who got out immediately, production stepped in to actually make the results of the challenge closer. Obviously, the girls had an unfair start with having so many Mr. Beast employees get out immediately, but also the boys should deserve a fair chance at winning, I think. I think that's the expectation when you run a game show. I want to show one more example. He clearly touches the laser here, but whatever. Let's assume that it's all real time. When he reaches the bottom floor, he has to turn these water valves. Now you can tell that these valves aren't actually connected to anything because the water flows out in an instant, and it happens when he's not even touching the valve. The contestant also goes back to the first valve unaware that anything had happened, and he's still able to spin it. So the valve seems to spin freely and isn't actually connected to the flow of water. So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water. And in this video, spoiler alert, the contestant wins the money. So rigging the challenge could be seen as a good thing, but there are many examples of contestants losing.
Good luck, everybody.
So this was a 6-hour live stream. They took it down off YouTube, but 5 hours of it are still up on their Facebook page. And during those 5 hours, I counted 46 illegal lotteries. Multiple times they would say something like, "Buy in the next 5 minutes for a chance to win." And then 7 minutes later go, "Actually, the newest order in 30 seconds is gonna win."
In 5 minutes, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna put $1,000 in a random order. Hey, Daryl, don't we owe someone $1,000?
We do.
Yeah, so, all right, so the newest order, in 30 seconds, we are gonna put $1,000 in your package.
And there is no second giveaway 30 seconds later, like Jimmy said. This is just one very shady giveaway. I counted 13 of these extra shady lotteries, but a lot of people are independently claiming the same things. Like that at the end of the live stream, they said they were putting $100 in every order. Also, using archive.org, we can see what the website looked like on the day of the stream. And while there's no mention of any sweepstakes whatsoever, it does say this limited tee signed by Mr. Beast and crew, but the description says it's signed by a member of the Mr. Beast crew, and it doesn't say anywhere that other members will sign MB, deceiving people into believing it was signed by Mr. Beast. So here's a clip of Tyler using Mr. Beast's signature. So Tyler signs MB, which is Mr. Beast's signature. Then he covers it, signs his own initials, TC, smirks, looks around, and then quickly slides the shirt away. Maybe they could say it's the brand's signature, even though it's clearly implied that this is Jimmy's signature, which was established during the last live stream. You know, some people bought these shirts as collector's items or even investments, and this puts into question the authenticity of all Mr. Beast signed merch. So in January 2021, 3 months after the last shirt signing stream, Mr. Beast did a live stream where for only $10, viewers could send a picture to the moon. And of course, he did more illegal lotteries.
Just to keep things fun and interesting, as if putting a photo on the moon isn't interesting enough. Someone who puts a photo on the moon, or if you buy the bundle, whatever, and the next 30 minutes, we'll just fly you down to be in a video.
Illegal lotteries targeted towards children and selling fake signatures. I mean, imagine if any other YouTuber was caught doing this. Now I'm gonna get to what, in my opinion, is the most unethical CTA giveaway that MrBeast has done. MrBeast launched Feastables, his new chocolate brand, back in January 2022. A large part of Feastables' marketing campaign was the fact that it's a better for you brand, that it's healthier for you than Hershey's. Now in 2024, MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar. Shelfie cleanup and $5,000 drawing? They thought this was going to be a monthly thing, but it got a lot of controversy, obviously. How can I successfully clean up the shelves? Wow, glad you asked. No bars on the shelf? Go find an employee and ask them to check to see if there is product in the back room and ask them to bring them out so you can put it on the shelf to match the tags. What the fuck, dude? Also, a company asking children for selfies is a little bit weird. And while you're at it, if you want to maybe move some Hershey's bars and make sure that Feastables has plenty of space, I wouldn't complain. Here's one example where someone on Reddit posted saying that they were promised free dog food for life in exchange for letting MrBeast use them in a video.
But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. And like you can, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on that's one thing. What I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. He'll be in videos. He'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around. He's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender? They still knew about it, and he was still around. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
I'm going to be covering MrBeast's secret CEO, James Warren. So quick profile on James Warren. He's Jimmy's cousin, and I heard that he's very aggressive. I've heard him referred to as a psychopath who screams at people and hits his girlfriends. There's allegedly domestic violence charges that were filed against him. It turns out there's a lot of people in North Carolina named James Warren who assault their girlfriends, I guess. So I'm still having people look into these cases. That surprise witness on YouTube, she's been super helpful. By 2017, LaQuia Hill was running an adult entertainment event business in San Francisco called LaQuia Hill Entertainment. Then in 2019, he was hired to MrBeast as a producer. That's not the real issue, though. The issue is that in late 2021, he was allegedly fired for sexually assaulting his assistant. He was actually quietly moved to the dubbing company, which was Unilingo at the time. Proof that he used the LaQuia at unilingo.tv email. He was actually brought back to MrBeast in 2023 after sexually assaulting his assistant prior. And promoted to Chief Financial Officer, which is how I personally was introduced to him. Here's some evidence from the internal Slack channel at MrBeast showing LaQuia Hill acting in some COO capacity. This was shortly after the Time magazine article came out. So here I have a document showing testimony from former MrBeast employees talking about LaQuia Hill. When I say verified former MrBeast employee, I had them send some form of proof. I know employee number 4. Do you know who LaQuia Hill is? Yes. And you're aware of the case that has been covered up for some time. Explain. Essayed multiple people, apparently roofied multiple people as well. Verified employee number 5. Rumors obviously spread. So like in the last video, I show one message where it's like, LaQuia Hill roofied multiple people. I'm like, I haven't heard that from anyone else, so potentially a rumor. So there's stuff like that where it's like, could be true, could not be true. I'm not going to claim it's true.
Yeah.
They had this sort of leaked email where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, right? Alluding to the fact that LaQuia Hill is no longer working there. Well, just on a whim, I decided to look into the Creator Global LinkedIn. So I reached out to one of my connections close to Mr. Beast and I said, hey, can you look into this account for me? And this is what they saw. LaQuia Hill listed as the current president at Creator Global and becoming the president at Creator Global in 2024. I also have a voice memo from James Warren showing that they told Unilingo to process a $28,000 bonus for LaQuia.
Hey buddy, it's James. Sorry to be bothering you. I've done my absolute best not to bother you. But LaQuia had presented a bunch of stuff to me and Jimmy a little bit ago. All really great stuff. But he had asked me and Jimmy personally, he's like, hey, you know, can I have a $28,000 bonus for work I did in the past? And I'm like, yeah, of course, man. And the reason for that is I had brought him up to my level and I don't take bonuses. So for like 2 years, he didn't get any bonuses when our guys were getting like crazy percentage bonuses. I need a favor. Sue cannot process this bonus through Beast. I need a solid. Can you please process a 28K bonus for LaQuia? Let me know. Bye.
Now let's move on to the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. First, I'll show this testimony from another former Mr. Beast employee just to show sort of the work culture, especially from a female's perspective. She says, on my very first day, I was told to avoid being alone in a room with certain people in positions of power. At least once a week, I was subjugated to inappropriate questions and conversations. Once, a male coworker asked me what I would do if Jimmy assaulted or harassed me. On another occasion, this same coworker said it wasn't fair that women could just decide a past sexual encounter wasn't consensual. Many of the men I worked with would make assault and pet jokes on a daily basis. They would scream and hit walls when they got upset. The minute any woman leaves a room, they would talk about if/how they would her. I've heard men comment on female contestants' bodies many times, but no one openly speaks out against it in fear of losing their job. You can't take anything to HR either because Jimmy's mom runs it. It's pretty common for people to essentially get paid to leave and stay quiet if they make enough noise about something. There is no employee handbook, by the way. If you ask for one or what the company's policies are, they just tell you to ask them and they'll let you know if anything is against the rules. But again, there's nothing in writing, which is true. The leaked document is just the production manual. But I wanted to focus in on this part where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, we will be hiring a new chief human resource officer, chief financial officer, and general counsel, along with other roles to add capacity and competencies to foster a better internal culture as we continue to grow. But what's ironic about this is that Jeff Hausenbold has been in the news previously for the internal culture that he helped create. SoftBank Vision Fund employees depict a culture of recklessness. It has also been described as an environment of sycophancy and harassment. So seemingly all the problems that people have with Mr. Beast's internal culture